Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are, I guess. It's Wednesday. It's 3 o'clock. Actually, it's 3:01, so I'm a little late, I guess. But hey, it's my stream. It's Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. in the East, and you all know what that means. It is time once again for Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, the SaleenDriver, host of the longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that we know of. Host of the show that endeavors every week that we've been on, and it's now 252 episodes worth, that we are the definitive show about nothing in particular. And I'm sure we're going to prove that again today. Let's see. Who's here? Sven is here. Everyone's favorite German. Everyone's favorite Mississippi State fan. VidTube Productions. He's here. Good man he is. Steve Pearson is here. Good afternoon to you too, sir. You know, I don't know why this is, but we are going to make Sven a moderator. I don't know why I hadn't done that until now. I thought Sven was a moderator, but he is now. So let's see. What do we talk about today? I'm sure we'll talk about a whole bunch of things. I'm sure Vic will probably at some point steer us headlong into a political discussion about the war in the Middle East, which isn't really much of a war. It's more of a, what do you call, batting practice. Anyway, Matt Newman's here. Good to see you too, sir. I just saw, just before I clicked the live button, I just saw a video of an American submarine. It was unclassified video from the American sub shooting a torpedo into an Iranian ship of some kind, making that the first ship sunk by a torpedo since World War II. It's amazing. It's been, I guess we went to missiles at some point. But the first ship sunk since World War II by a torpedo, by a submarine. So good on them. I guess he figured since he was in the Indian Ocean, he was safe. Well, no, he wasn't. Good afternoon to the Battle Angel, one of my favorite people on the internet, and one of the most patient and long-suffering young ladies in all of YouTube. If you know, you know. But that was fascinating to watch. That torpedo just blew the rear half of that ship clean off. And goodbye. More scrap iron at the bottom of the ocean. Can't say that I'll shed a tear. Traveling Fools is here. What's up, my friend? How are you? Good to see you, sir. For those of you who were here last week, I do again apologize for cutting the show way short. I really was struggling. I really wasn't feeling very well. And Raj, nobody was talking anyway except me, and I ran out of things to say, and the bathroom was calling my name. So apologies for that. I'll try and go the full 2 hours today. I feel great today. I feel good. I got a lot accomplished today. I had to, yesterday I finally turned my tax documents into my family's accountant. I love that lady. and her husband and her whole team have a combined something like 300 years worth of tax preparation and financial accounting experience between all of them. And every single one of them hates the IRS with a passion, which is what you want in an accountant. You definitely want someone working your taxes who hates the IRS, because that's the way it should be. So I turned my taxes in. I turned my paperwork in. I know I'm going to owe some money. I always do. Hopefully, it'll be relatively inexpensive. And I picked up my younger daughter's taxes, which were done. They're fairly simple. She gets a refund, which is not really a refund. I hasten once again to point out that a tax refund is not a refund. You're getting back money that you overpaid to the government, and you basically gave them a 12-month no-interest loan so that they could waste your money on crap for the most part. And so it was always your money. You're just getting back what you overpaid to the imperial federal government, and in the case of some of you, the imperial state governments as well. Baylor Man is here. 178 days until college football season. Hashtag fire Aranda, fire DEI hire Livingston. Hashtag stop mistreating Baylor Man by keeping them around. Amen, brother. You should add another hashtag. Bench DJ wrong way. But, you know, maybe you'll end up liking DJ wrong way, but that's up to you guys. He ain't my problem anymore. My problem is G5 Johnny. G5 Johnny, who is looking like a crossbreed between Billy Napier in terms of absolute inexperience at the high level of college football and being a clown like Dan Mullen. I mean, if any of you saw, well, if you were watching Uncle Lou's stream yesterday when I came on for a few minutes, and thank you to Lou for letting me come on and chat with him for a while. I always feel like it's it's a privilege. He can see me in the background. He doesn't have to let me on. He can say, oh no, that pain in the ass is back, and just keep me sitting there. But I appreciated that. He showed the clip that I was describing to him of G5 Johnny on the turf at Florida Field, within 5 feet of a live 8-foot, 9-foot alligator with all its teeth, by the way, and not leashed and not moved and not controlled somehow. And he's talking about, go get this, and he's waving the football around. And he's talking about, you know, you got to earn the logo and leading cheer practice in the facilities and everything. He's a clown. And I don't think he's going to be the answer. I really don't have a lot of hope for the Florida Gators in 2026. I'm hoping we can bowl qualify 6-6, 7-5. I just, it sickens me to watch what this program has turned into. Baylor Man says the IRS needs to be shut down for being unconstitutional. Unfortunately, Baylor Man, though I agree with you, the constitutionality of the amendment that created the income tax way back in the 19 teens, whenever it was created, has been upheld time after time. I wish it were unconstitutional. I wish we would abolish the IRS, abolish the income tax, and go to a consumption-based tax like the fair tax or a national sales tax. I think that would be more egalitarian than a regressive sales tax, like a regressive income tax like we have now. P. Digits, good afternoon to you, sir. I haven't seen you in a while. Atypical Gump, afternoon to you. And yes, if anyone was wondering, Atypical Gump did get the watch that he won fair and square. He won fair and square. I don't know that he's enjoying it or not. I haven't heard from him about it, but I assume he's enjoying it because I haven't heard anything negative about it. I think he did acknowledge that he got the watch, but I'm pretty sure he's enjoying it. I am going to be doing another watch giveaway. I've been putting it off. I got to go find one that I want to do a giveaway because I promised that when my channel broke 3,000 subscribers, I'd do a watch giveaway. I need to go find one to do that. It'll be more of a, I'll make a video about it and you have to comment about it to qualify, and then I'll do a drawing kind of thing. I have to get on. I have to get over to Sarasota Watch Company and find a good watch to do that. Octavian refers to him as Psycho John Summerall. Psycho John, okay. I don't know that he's exhibited psycho tendencies. I just call him G5 Johnny because he came from the group of 5. His name is John, so Johnny. So G5 Johnny kind of rolls off the tongue. And by the way, Lou stole that from me. So when he calls him G5 John or G5 Johnny, he got that from me. So I'm a fan of the consumption tax, yes. And if you want to read up on the fair tax proposal, which has been in Congress forever, there was a book written a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, by a guy named Neil Bortz, Boortz, Bortz, I believe is how you spell it. You probably find it on Amazon. He was a radio talk show host in the Atlanta area back in the 90s and the 2000s on WSB 750. And he was very much a libertarian and very caustic radio talk show host. He called himself an equal opportunity offender. He offended everybody: black, white, Jew, Gentile, man, woman, gay, straight, all nationalities, all races. He went after everybody. And he was funny as hell. Funny as hell. But he wrote a book called Fair Tax. If you want to read, it is actually not a dry dissertation. It gives real world examples of how it would work. It's really a good read. Atypical Gum says, yep, wear it a couple of times each week. Good. I'm glad it's getting worn. P Digits has probably heard of Neil Bortz. I like his style. I hate everyone. That way I know I'm treating everyone the same. Yeah. I stole the line from him. I call myself an equal opportunity offender. I'll go after anybody. I don't have really any prejudices except maybe against stupid people. But I think that's fairly universal. But I love everyone equally and I hate everyone equally. Yeah, I remember when I worked for IBM back in the 90s in Atlanta, and they would send us to these, every once in a while, they would send us to these what are now called sensitivity training, but they called them something else back then. I would say to the instructor, I said, I don't understand this. Just because I'm white, I don't hate black people. I don't hate white people. I don't hate Asian people. I don't hate Hispanic people. I don't hate anybody. All I require out of anyone in this environment is, can you do the job? I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you stick where and whatever. I don't care what color your skin is or where you come from or anything like that. All I care about is, can you do your own job versus me having to do your own job? That's all I cared about. I did fairly well at IBM until I ran into a a manager above my manager who just took an instant dislike to me, and that was the end of my career. But that was 2001, so that's water under the bridge, right? Let's see. Congratulations to the Florida Gators. 2025-26, they won the outright last night by beating Mississippi State. They won the outright SEC regular season championship for the first time since 2014. Now, amazingly, last year when they won the national championship, they didn't win the regular season SEC title. That went to Auburn. But Florida won the SEC tournament, which catapulted them into the playoffs as the number one rank. I think they were number one in their region. I honestly don't remember. But they won the SEC regular season title outright last night. They had locked up a share of it the game before, but after beating the absolute tar out of Mississippi State in the final home game for this season, they locked up the regular season title outright. And I think the last game of the season is at Kentucky, and I believe they're favored to win that game. And then they go into the SEC championship tournament, I believe, with a number one ranking. So evidently, Florida is now a basketball school. Because we sure as hell ain't a football school anymore. Haven't been since Urban Meyer resigned. But that's life. I guess you kind of take what life gives you, right? So that's really all I had to chat about. Let's see. I'm going to drop the link here in just a minute. Get rid of that because I don't care about that. Drop the link into the chat. So anyone wants to come into the yard, you're absolutely welcome to do so. Let's see here. Got to set that up. Oh, there he is.
Hello.
How are you?
I am old, and you are old, right?
Yeah, well.
Kind of old. Kind of.
Well, I'm wondering which of us is older. I can't seem to remember that.
You are one year older. Anyway,
okay.
I told you last year when you made me a mod that I declined it. That was the reason I'm not a mod. And you can take it away again. Please.
Oh, okay. You sure?
I'm absolutely sure. You have Vic, you have PD, you have a lot of, you have PA. I'm fine. I don't have to be a mod.
I took it away.
Yeah. So
I mean, I wanted you to have that, acknowledgement of my gratitude for your consistent participation.
Yeah, last week I was raided by my Swiss ladies and I couldn't make it. It was the last day they stayed here and they raided me. and took me away. They took me hostile.
Hostage.
Hostage. Yeah.
They raided you. What?
Yeah.
They came over and tied you up and dragged you out the front door.
Yeah, and took me out for dinner.
I can think of worse ways to spend an evening.
Yeah, Dunya, I know her for maybe 35 years. She's my best buddy, and she brought her daughter around. She's a teenager, and I'm like the big uncle to her, huh? Like a second dad, and we had a good time, and that's why I couldn't make it last week.
That's
And
okay.
I'm
Last
not.
week was a disaster.
Yeah, and I'm not sorry about it. We had a good time.
Yeah. Well, last week was just. I just couldn't. My stomach was just destroyed last week. I don't know what the hell happened, but
So you were sick.
I lasted about half an hour on here.
Yeah.
And I mean, if Vic had come on into the StreamYard, I could have probably just put myself on mute and gone into the bathroom, and Vic could have taken over the show for a little bit, but he didn't come on. Nobody else came on, and I just said, you know what?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it. I don't want there to be dead air here for no reason. So
Yeah.
I just shut it down.
Yeah. By the way, by how many did Mississippi State lose? By 30, 40, 50? By a lot, I guess.
I'll tell you. Hang on.
Yeah.
It was final score was 108-74.
That's not much. That's only
so 34 points.
Yeah, 35 points. That's okay. I mean, we have probably a top 3 player in the league, but that's all we have. Hubbard is a top 3 player, but he has no chemistry like last year, or no guy on the rim, and it's a one-man band. And Chris Jans is a very good coach at Mississippi State, but sometimes it's happened. He picked the wrong guy
Right.
in the recruiting. So
Well, Florida's last game is Saturday, the 7th, at Kentucky.
yeah, Kentucky is not good. Kentucky is not good. You will beat them.
It's on ESPN at 4:00. There's no line on the game yet.
Yeah.
At least not on this app. We do have one injury. It's Thomas Ho. How, whatever. He was out yet last night. He's going to be out again. I guess they're going to rest him for the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, the SEC tournament is like in baseball. If you are the number 1 seed, you should put your starting 5 away on the bench and tell them, chill out, wear street clothes, and cheer your bodies on, but you will not play a single minute.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. It's only for the money. It's only for the TV money. It's the only, I mean, there is no reason that any starter from a top 4 team in the SEC, every top 4 team in the SEC tournament is guaranteed a top 4 seed for their region in March Madness. So why should they risk that their point guard or their backcourt gets hurt? Nobody. In 2021 in baseball, it was the same. Mississippi State won the SEC by a million points. So and Lemonis sit all his starters. We got 2 times run ruled by freaking Tennessee and Auburn in the SEC tournaments. And Lemonis stand for the camera, and the reporter said, why are you get run ruled, and this is embarrassing? And he said, what is more important? A SEC championship, what we already won in regular season, or you want to be good in Omaha? Yeah. And nobody said a word anymore. And this is exactly what Florida should do. Rest the starters, give them 5 minutes so that they don't get rusty. So, and then sit them down. But from what I heard, the Big East, they are very, very strong, and it will be a hard task against the Big East and Houston. Houston is also very good. We will see, but I don't watch it. I'm not a big hoops guy.
Oh, Vic is in the background.
Yeah,
There you go.
Bring him in. Good morning, Vic.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I watched baseball over the weekend, and we got on national TV, we got betrayed by the refs. They called 5 times a ball, and the TV camera showed it. It was strikes.
Yep.
5 times.
So here I put up the brackets as of today, the SEC tournament bracket.
We play Auburn. We beat Auburn.
Florida has a double. Florida, Missouri, Alabama, and Arkansas have what they're calling a double bye.
Yeah.
Well,
Florida.
So how are we? Play. So I'm confused. So if we're in the same bracket as Texas, okay.
If you beat LSU, you play Texas, and if you beat Texas, you play the Gums.
We play Alabama. Yes, I was going to say
you're down here.
I was going to say when we have a better record than Texas, why are they ahead of us?
This is not baseball. This is basketball.
The Gators are not going to play after they play on the 7th. They're not going to play again until the 13th.
Yeah.
Right, so my God. SEC.
And Auburn is 11th, and we beat Auburn.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. Mississippi State beat Auburn in basketball.
So never mind, unbelievable. Even though Georgia does, let's see what the difference is. Let's see. Georgia is 9-8 in conference play. Texas is 9-7.
Yeah, Texas lost at home to Mississippi State. They are not good.
Yeah, they've played one game less than everyone else for some reason. Why is that they've played 16
I tell you
games?
Why.
Everyone else in the conference has played 17 games.
I can explain this. They had when all was frozen in Tennessee and North Mississippi, they should have played at Vanderbilt, and it was half a feet ice on the streets. They couldn't go into Vanderbilt, and they didn't play this game. Was it Vanderbilt or was it Tennessee?
I mean, Tennessee has played 16 games. How is it that Texas is missing a game, but Tennessee and Vandy are not?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. If Texas is missing a game, shouldn't
Texas,
whoever they were supposed to play also? Never mind. I think I see it. Arkansas is 11-5. So that was it. Apparently they were supposed to play.
Maybe it was this. But Texas had a road game, and they couldn't play because of half a feet or half an inch
Yeah, so
ice
so it
on
was
the street.
Arkansas. It was Texas and
Yeah.
Arkansas were supposed to play, but they didn't.
So I
They
guess they
said
didn't make that game up for some reason.
no, they're
Yeah.
not going. I guess not.
We had a postponed game against Alabama, and we played it midweeks.
Yes, but anyway, did you know that yeah, Georgia has won. Yeah, we've won 4 of the last 5 games. Yeah, we beat Alabama last night.
Alabama, but not in football.
Nope. And well, we beat them in football too. But yeah,
Really?
yeah, we did.
How's that
Yeah.
happens?
How did that happen? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It was the SEC championship.
Yeah, we lost to we went to in baseball. We went to a tournament in Arlington.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, Saleen. So I need to take this time to thank you for giving us Mike White.
You're
Yeah, you
kidding,
still there,
right?
Saleen? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Thank you for Mike White. Yeah.
Why?
Who is this?
Because well,
I
we're
can't
better.
tell if
Well,
he's being sarcastic
because
or not.
okay, well, because we've become better with him as our coach. Certainly a lot better than Tom Crean or Mark Fox. He beats. He beats the. He beats the shit out of them. So
Well, I'm glad you like. I'm glad you like the guy. I mean,
because he got us to the tournament for the first time in I don't know, like 10 years. So
he didn't do a hell of a lot for Florida, but I'm glad you're happy
Nope.
with him.
yeah. So we both we both benefited
Yeah.
from
Saleen.
you firing Mike White. So 'cause
Saleen, there's a difference.
we became a decent basketball team, and you won the Natty. So
There's a difference, Saleen, between your expectations in hoops and Georgia's or Mississippi State's, and there's a difference between Vic's expectations in football and Florida's or Mississippi State's.
I was just happy to make it to the NCAA
Yeah,
this year.
it's like Mississippi State and if Florida goes to the tournament and goes out in the first round, there is a apocalypse in Gainesville if they lose in the first round.
Yeah, that was our only goal last year was to make the
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Saleen.
our only goal was to make the tournament. This year, the goal is to win a game in the tournament.
I mean,
never know,
right? But in order to win in the tournament,
unless
you have to make the
matched up
tournament
against the Gators
first.
in the tournament.
So we've made the tournament in back-to-back years.
Yeah. I mean, Georgia is probably an 8 seed, 7 seed, and we were a 7 seed 2 years ago, and we got Tom Izzo and Michigan State, and they steamrolled us.
Yeah, that's what happened to us. Well, last year we were the 8 seed, played 9 seed Gonzaga, and got our ass kicked. So
yeah, and last year we played Baylor and lost by 1 point against the Baylor men. They're fighting around us.
Well, Florida is currently projected to be a 2 seed in their region. Thank you. I think behind Michigan.
Michigan.
I think we lost to Michigan earlier this year, didn't we?
I don't know, but I saw the rankings, and Michigan, I think they only lost 2 Big Ten games or something like that. I mean, the Big Ten is not as deep as the SEC, but only lose 2 conference games is not bad at all. It's consistent.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Vic.
so ranking the basketball conference, obviously the SEC is first, and second is
Big East.
the Big 12. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's better in basketball, Big 10 or ACC.
Yeah, our losses this year were to Arizona, first game of the year.
Yeah.
Lost
Very
to
good
TCU.
team.
We lost to
Yeah,
TCU by 4
Yeah,
points.
I guess Big 10. I guess it's the ACC, the worst of the of the Power Four in basketball. Yeah, big dang.
And North
Lost
Carolina
to
is
Duke.
pretty
We
damn good.
lost to Duke
Yeah,
by
big
only 1
dang.
point.
Yeah, big dang. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost to Duke by 1 point. We lost to UConn by 4 points. Then we lost to Missouri by 2. And then we lost to Auburn by
What?
3.
To Auburn.
They lost to Auburn by
Bless you.
9. Yeah, and then we
I
went on
think
a
the
10-game
ACC is
winning
better
streak.
as the Big Ten week.
Okay.
They have Duke, they have North Carolina, they have Wake Forest. These are 3 pretty damn good teams.
Okay. Okay. So the ACC is okay. That's the Big
Yeah.
Ten then.
But I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
the
Yeah. And you do agree that the Big 12 is second.
they have Houston and Arizona.
Yeah, well,
And-
Arizona beat
and
us
TCU.
first game of the year,
TCU.
and TCU beat us.
Yeah. But I would think that the Big East is better. St.
Okay.
John's, Gonzaga, these kind of troops, and they are really good. I mean, if we draw them or Georgia draw them, they say, okay, Georgia or Mississippi said, by how many you want to lose? 30, 40, 50? So we can deliver. There is no way in hell. A mid-major SEC team beats one of these teams. There's no way. I think it's SEC and then the big 8?
Big East.
Big East, yeah. I think the Big East is the second best conference because Gonzaga gives a damn about football. St. John's gives a damn about football.
No, Gonzaga
99.99.
Gonzaga doesn't even have a football team.
Yeah, they dropped it. And
Gonzaga is now, or next year they're going to be in the Pac-12, but only in basketball.
by the way, I saw Lou. He made a video about it. Doing all the TV money in one pot and spread it around to all conferences. I mean, let's say, let's take Georgia and Purdue. What Lou did. Georgia has a home crowd of 80,000. Or how many is it in Sanford Stadium? 80,000, 85,000?
95,000.
95,000. Hey,
sounds a little low for
in all of Georgia, they don't live 95,000 people. Don't lie to me, Vic.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
There's how many people? There's
Okay.
what, like
It's okay.
There's what, about 10 million people in
Yeah,
Georgia? I don't
it's
know.
okay. So let's say you have 90,000 people in the sense, and Purdue has 35,000. How many people watch Georgia games, and how many people watch Purdue games? How many revenue brings Georgia
The population
into?
of Georgia is approximately 11.18 million.
Yeah. So, and Purdue, 1.5?
Yeah, Purdue. Well, Purdue is in Indiana, so
So, I mean,
yeah, I don't know what the
nobody in the
population
world watches
I don't know what
Mississippi
the
State
population of
or
Indiana.
Purdue or
Yeah, they have 6.9 million people in Indiana. So
Yeah, this is not Vic. What I'm talking about is the revenue stream who comes from TV money. Georgia, when Georgia plays, at least 1 million people watch the game. So nobody in the world watches outside of the Egg Bowl. And when we play LSU, Mississippi State, there's only the diehard Mississippi State fans, they watch it, and nobody else. Nobody gives a shit about Mississippi State or Purdue or take Arizona State. Nobody watches these trash cans. Nobody.
Okay, well, what's your point?
Yeah, the point is, someone said that the SEC should give their money to a pot. The ACC gives them TV money in a pot. So, and they spread it around. Let's say Georgia makes now 70 million from the TV deal per year, and Wake Forest makes 30 million. So, and literally what they want is Georgia gives 20 million to Wake Forest. That Wake Forest has 50 million and Georgia 50 million. That's what they want. I mean,
and they get that money and then use that money to support the FCS and the Division II, Division III.
No, it's only for the Power 4.
I don't like.
It's not for the G5 and it's not for the FCS. It's only for the Power 5 or Power 4.
Why would we give? Why would anyone want to do that? Just for the
Lou
Power
made a video
4.
about it, and Lou is right. I don't
So
get it.
saying that that's for the poorer schools to have more money or something.
Yeah, it's because their conference commissioners made bad deals with TV.
Because they made bad
So,
deals.
yeah, let's say.
Yes, why should the SEC cover the ACC's bad deal?
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want. What is absolute nuts. This is like they ask Mercedes-Benz, you as a Mercedes-Benz US, to pay for Lincoln. What is
bullshit? I don't like this revenue sharing.
This is nonsense.
It sounds very yet sounds very Marxist.
Yeah, this is
if you want your school to earn more money, put a better product out on the field or fuck off.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
I'm sorry, if the University of Florida earns $100 million in a year in revenue, and Mississippi State earns $25 million a year in revenue,
it's not your problem.
I don't see why Florida has to give up, half its money, or 25 million or so to bring you guys up to parity. No, that's bullshit.
This is not in conference. I mean, Florida has not to give money to Mississippi State, and nor is Alabama or LSU. It's the SEC complete.
The SEC and the Big Ten giving money to the ACC
and the Big 12
and the Big 12
is going to fold up. The ACC is going to fold up. Put a better product out on the field or shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's not about being good or bad. It's about how many people watch you. How much revenue are you generating?
Well, revenue,
which is usually a function of how many people support that school. Yeah,
I mean, you think that anyone goes and watches the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team, except for opening day or when the Yankees or Red Sox show up? No, nobody goes to those games because the Rays suck. And they're not going to put butts in seats, and they're not going to put eyeballs on screens until they put a better product on the field.
Yeah, make it easier.
Yes, I was just saying that about people who watch that Georgia, South Carolina and Florida is going to have way more fans than
Look at
Duke,
Miami.
Wake Forest, and NC State. I mean,
Exactly.
They have Miami has 50 homegrown Cowboys, 50 Cubans, and 90 drug dealers in the stands, and that's it. They have 300 people in the stands, and they wonder that they get bad TV deals. Nobody goes ever to a Miami game. Nobody watched the
well,
Hurricanes. Nobody.
except only when they're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the Netty game in Miami, it was 75% Indiana fans.
Yeah,
75%.
which lately, Miami has been mediocre, except for the last 2 years. I mean, they were mediocre for the past 10,
20 years.
15 years.
20 years.
Before that. So
I remember there was a time back when I was a younger man, and I considered briefly going to college at the University of South Florida, which ironically is not in South Florida, but it's in Central Florida in Tampa.
wait, it's not.
But
Tampa.
I digress.
Tampa
is not South Florida. Miami is South. Anyway,
Tampa is Panhandle, huh?
No, it's not Tampa.
No, Tampa's not in the Panhandle. Tampa is down in the peninsula of the state, about halfway between the Big Bend area and the Keys.
So where does South Florida start then?
South Florida starts, well, according to anyone you talk to, you draw a line from roughly Palm Beach across the state to Fort Myers area, and everything above that is considered Central Florida. Everything below that is considered South Florida.
Okay, so Fort Myers, which is
West
Palm
Coast.
Beach, Palm Beach, which is south of Tampa.
No. Palm Beach is on the east coast of Florida.
Okay.
Fort Myers is on the west coast.
Okay. And Fort Myers is south of Tampa.
Yes, way south of Tampa, like 2-hour drive south of Tampa.
Okay.
Anyway, when I considered going to USF, they didn't have a football team. They had basketball, but they had no football. They created a football team out of whole cloth not too long ago. I think maybe 15, 20 years ago. They don't have a stadium on the USF campus now. They are building
they
one.
play at the Raymond James.
Yeah, they played before that. They played in the Big Sombrero, which was the predecessor to Ray J. The point being that USF earned their way into building a team and earned their way into building a stadium on their campus by being, not a great team, but there were times when USF, there was a time where USF was ranked number 2 in the country, briefly. And I'm not saying this is a USF fan. I'm not a USF
2007, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a USF fan, but what I'm saying is USF earned their way into some level of prominence, earned their way into getting on TV, earned their way into getting a stadium, now not a huge stadium at the moment, but a stadium on campus, because they improved the product and they earned their position.
Yes.
They weren't given money by some conference. Nowadays, it's just like, oh, hell, here's, $50 million because we signed a TV deal. Even though your team sucks, we're going to do revenue sharing. And you get $50 million because you put a mediocre team out on the field that loses to, better teams more often than not. And it's like, I hate this. I hate this revenue sharing, egalitarian.
Revenue sharing? You mean within within the conferences. You mean?
No, you didn't earn it. The teams that put out, I mean, the SEC. Let's take the SEC since we're familiar with it. And
Right.
and you've got a top tier right now. You know, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the A&Ms, the LSUs, the teams that are in the upper quad, the upper echelon of the conference, because
Yeah. You think they
football.
should see, and
They
you
should earn
think
more money.
they should get should get more of the uh the the uh uh, the, the
The
TV
revenue. Yeah.
revenue. Okay.
Because
Well, I don't know.
Florida.
What's the
Okay,
point?
I'll make this even
Well,
more
what is the
personal.
point of a conference then if the revenue is not shared equally? Then what is the
They
whole
didn't
point
earn, but
of
they
having a
didn't earn
conference?
it. Let's take the last 2 years of Vanderbilt out of the equation. Are you saying to me that Vanderbilt, who wins maybe 2, 3, or 4 games a year, should earn as much?
All right.
Get
I
as
mean,
much
what
money
is
as an undefeated
what is the
Georgia team?
purpose? What is the purpose of a conference?
The purpose of the conference is competition, not revenue sharing. I'll make it even more personal. Florida went 4-8 last year, right? 4-8, or was it 5-7? It's 4-8. Florida, according to this revenue sharing bullshit, gets as much money as and what did Georgia go? 11-1?
Yeah.
Okay, 11-1 Georgia gets the same amount of money as a 4-8 Florida team.
Okay.
And you're telling me that's right? I'm telling you that's wrong.
I mean. Otherwise, otherwise, what's the whole purpose of even of even having a conference if you're not there to look out for each other's interests? Then what's the whole point of even having a conference?
You have to earn it.
Saleen.
Then what's the
Saleen,
point of having? You're still not telling me what's the point of being in a conference.
I would tell you
No.
Okay. I won't tell you why I didn't tell you until now, because it's rude.
Saleen, I make it very simple.
The purpose of the conference is to generate competition. Competition makes everyone better. You have to if you set up a system where you earn more money by winning more football games, you set up a system whereby people or teams or organizations are incented to become better within the conference. If my team isn't earning as much as Georgia or earning as much as Alabama, Florida has to get better to earn more money compared to Georgia and Alabama. If they don't become better, they don't get paid more. There's no incentive. You have to incentivize organizations to become better. It's called profit. It's called
So why do you need a conference to create competition?
The same way you have market segments like the auto industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the computer industry, where you have like companies competing against each other in a similar field. It's the same basic principle. You have a group of teams.
So you're saying that a conference,
they're all playing
a conference
the same
is not.
They just need to play it better.
So a conference is not a union, is what you're saying.
No, a conference should not be a union. A conference should be a vessel by which individual entities, in this case football teams, compete against each other to earn more money.
Okay,
that's
Saleen,
the purpose. Yes,
Saleen, listen closely. The SEC has 16 members. Okay. I give you 4 bad teams: Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Florida. Okay, I give you 4 good teams.
I'll accept that we're a bad
Texas.
team.
Yep. I mean,
well, Vandy's not a bad team. Yeah, I would say replace Vandy with Kentucky.
take Kentucky, whatever. So, and
Yeah.
take Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and let's say, for God's sake, LSU. So, if you want not to spread the money inside the conference around, and let's say you want to give a Georgia or an Alabama 100 million, and you want to give a Florida or a Kentucky or a Mississippi State 25 million, you know what happens? At the end,
you hopefully
you have
incentivize bad teams to try and become better
per
to
year.
earn more money.
No. You create less money because over 3 years, if you do this only 3 years, there's a gap between Mississippi State and Alabama of $240 million. So Alabama can spend $240 million on football, and Mississippi State can spend $50 million. So
yeah, how are they going to get better if they don't have the money?
They're going to have to become creative. They're going to have to find ways. They're going to have to become inventive.
No, at the end, you create a gap between the bottom half, the bottom's 8 teams, and the top 8 teams, so that you have only 6 or 7 competitive games per year, and not 25 or 30 big time games. There is no way in hell Mississippi State, if they only get 20 million and Ole Miss gets 100 million, that Mississippi State beats Ole Miss ever. Yeah, you can throw it out. So, and there's no way in hell Florida beats a Georgia, or a Kentucky can upset a Texas or something like that. There's no way. And the people, they look, oh, it's Mississippi State against LSU. I mean, Mississippi State won 3 out of the last 6 games in Tiger Stadium because they got the full money from the SEC. If Mississippi State makes 20 million, LSU makes 100 million, there's no way in hell Mississippi State goes to Tiger Stadium. They get run out of the stadium by 50. Every time they go to Tiger Stadium, they get run out of the building, and nobody will watch this game. Nobody. But if Mississippi State gets the full money, so there is a chance, and someone will watch it, and that creates revenue. And this is the point. If you don't give Mississippi State, Vandy, Florida, or Kentucky the same amount of money, you create a rich world and a poverty world. And the poverty world has 0 chance to come even close.
Yeah, and then there goes your competition. And there goes your competition
no way
that
in
you're
hell
saying
this
is the
works.
point of a conference.
The point is you need 16 strong teams in the SEC. There has always to be a chance that the Mississippi State can beat the Texas like last year.
We get it. I get what you're saying. Now let me offer a counterpoint to that.
Of course,
you're basically saying that if we don't have revenue sharing, the top half will outspend the bottom half, and the bottom half will never be able to get out of the bottom half because they don't have the money to do it. Okay, I understand what you're saying. So let me offer the counterpoint to that. Okay, 16 teams, everyone gets the same amount of money no matter what. Then your bottom 4, Kentucky, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Florida, get, let's pick an arbitrary figure, $50 million apiece. And the top tier, Georgia, Texas, Alabama, LSU, they get $50 million apiece. Okay, so and the middle sector, the middle 8, everyone gets $50 million apiece, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone is equal. Everyone is, no matter how good they are, no matter how bad they are, everyone gets $50 million apiece. Okay. Where is the incentive to improve? If I and this, this can be seen in the welfare state as well. Where is my incentive to do anything if the government is going to hand me a check every month for sitting on my ass and playing PlayStation and picking my nose? I don't have any incentive to educate myself. I don't have incentive to improve job skills or even get a job or leave the house or anything. The government's going to pay for my housing, my food. They're going to give me a check every week. They're going to feed my kids. They're going to and I can send my kids to school, government school, and they'll get a basic education enough to be able to flip burgers somewhere. And I get money for nothing. In your example, with everyone in the SEC or everyone in the Big 10 or Big 12 or whatever gets the same amount of money, nobody has any incentive to become better than they are, because no matter how good they are or how bad they are, they're going to get the same amount of money. Now that's going to keep the bottom guys at the bottom, because they're going to basically throw up their hands and say, what do I care if I don't improve my facilities or add a better weight training program or add a better dietary program or go hunt the 4 and 5 star guys. I can put 2 and 3 star guys out on the field, and I'm going to get the same amount of money as the guys who are busting their ass up at the top echelons. They're getting the same amount of money as I am, or I'm getting the same amount of money as them.
Right. What about Vandy?
Wait a minute.
Vandy.
That can also work in reverse. The top tier guys can look back and say, how come I'm busting my ass? I'm building better facilities. I'm recruiting 4 and 5 stars. I'm hiring top tier coaches. I'm putting in a killer weight training program. I'm buying all the best food, the best medical care, the best film review rooms, and football's made out of the best cowhide in the entire world. I'm getting no benefit from busting my ass. I might as well go a little more mediocre here and a little more mediocre there, because I'm going to get the same amount of money as the lowest.
All right. So why is Vanderbilt just went 10-2. I think they got to 10-2 by doing those things. So if you think that those bottom feeders don't care, why is Vandy doing what they're doing? All those
Mississippi
things
State builds right now.
They didn't care.
Mississippi State right now builds a $85 million indoor facility for football. $85 million.
Yeah. So how did Indiana get where they are by doing those same things? So just being a bottom feeder,
Indiana is different.
Doesn't mean they don't. That doesn't mean they don't care. It's just
Indiana has the best coach in the country by a mile.
Exactly. So they went out. They went out and hired the best coach they could find.
Let's see what Indiana can do long term.
Indiana didn't care. They would have kept. They would have kept Tom Allen if they really didn't care about.
Indiana made a very good coaching hire, admittedly, and they've recruited and done what they've done, and they've done it for what, 2 years, and they got a natty out of it, and that's fantastic. That's a fantastic story.
Yeah, so you're saying that mediocre programs.
That's my question.
So you're saying that all mediocre programs don't care if they stay mediocre. Was your
I didn't say that. I didn't say that they didn't say they didn't care. I just said they're not incented, because they're going to get the money regardless. And every once in a while, a mediocre or even way below mediocre team can rear its head up for a year or two. I mean, Lewis said this countless times, where someone at the mid level or so can rear their head up and for a year or two can make a run at something, but they don't have the sustainability that say. I mean, look at Georgia. mired in
Yeah.
mediocrity for decades, and now they are a sustained blue chip program because they built the program.
Right.
You know,
Every conference, they're gonna have good teams. They're gonna have
And bad.
bad teams, and there's gonna be teams in the middle. It's like this in every conference.
well, I don't disagree with that. I'm all my point is if you put in this egalitarian system, and I guess we're going to have to live with it because it's already here. This revenue sharing system, egalitarian, everyone is equal, blah, blah, blah. I think in the long run, and maybe right now in the short term, we're not seeing it, but in the long run, it's going to disincentivize the top and the bottom. The bottom will be disincentivized because they're going to get paid no matter what. And the top may, I'm not saying will, I'm saying may be disincentivized to continue being that damn good because, and they may slip a little bit because they're saying we're killing ourselves out here and we're not reaping the rewards of the extra effort. And let me ask, you know, be truthful. If you've ever been in a job situation where you're really, really good at your job and you're not getting recognized for it with extra pay and benefits and perks, after a while, you begin to say to yourself, why am I killing myself? It doesn't seem to be doing me any good. Maybe I can, you know, bring it back a little bit. Pardon me. Maybe I can, you know, ease back a little bit. Maybe nobody will notice. And I'll have to kill myself to get the same amount of pay and benefits as what I was getting. You know, I'm talking about a bonus structure here. If you're not getting bonuses for extra effort, are you really going to be putting out that extra effort long term? I mean,
I can tell you why.
Is what it is, guys.
I tell you why. We forgot one point, gentlemen. Georgia, Alabama made the playoffs. And the playoff money is not counting to the SEC revenue share.
Yeah.
All the money is made in the playoffs for Georgia, for Florida, Kentucky, or Tennessee, whoever goes to the playoffs. And it doesn't matter if it's baseball, if it's basketball or football. If Georgia earns $1 in the playoffs, this $1
they keep it.
Goes to Georgia. So,
yeah.
And Mississippi State gets $0. If Georgia makes a championship and gets, let's say, I don't know the number. Let's say they get 20 million. They play second round, third round, and the championship game. So 3 games. So and they get $6 million for each game. This $18 million go direct to Kirby Smart. Direct. And not to Mississippi State, and not to Alabama, and not to LSU. This is Georgia's money. And the same with the SEC championship game. The SEC championship game is a lone standing game in Atlanta.
Right.
And it's
the
not
teams,
inside
Georgia
the TV revenue stream contract of the SEC. Yeah. If Alabama and Georgia gets each $10 million for the SEC championship game by ESPN, there is no money sharing with Florida, Tennessee, or Mississippi State.
And that's your extra money it should be. That is absolutely the way
it is. Exactly. So you do get incentivized. You do get more money for making the SEC championship or making making the playoffs, making a bowl game.
This is the way it is. But
that's the way it should always be. You get rewarded for exceptional work.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And this is the way it is.
What Sven is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the way it is.
So you are incentivized.
I don't think you should reward bad play, bad performance. And you do not reward mediocrity. Maybe you don't penalize it in this day and age, but you damn sure don't reward it. That just reinforces mediocrity because I'm going to get
Yeah.
paid no matter what.
The
I mean,
SEC.
I've got 4 generations of welfare recipients in this country to point to as a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
The SEC.
ever since the mid 60s.
Saleen, the SEC paid every team in 2025 for the 2025 season in football $71 million. I
Right.
just looked it up. So, and Georgia made it to the SEC championship game, gets, let's say, a 10 million extra, and made it to the playoffs, gets 6 million extra. Georgia made around 90 million. And Ole Miss made around 100 million because they beat Georgia and went an extra round of the playoffs. So the difference is $30 million.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
and that's how it is. If you are good, you get
about the
rewarded.
original $71 million. Now, if you spread that,
Right, the TV contract.
got
Yeah, it's
$71
the
million.
SEC. Yeah, it's the SEC that negotiates the TV deal on behalf of its member schools.
Yeah.
Yes,
I just
and this
don't,
is only
I don't like. I just don't like this egalitarian bullshit. I think it's wrong.
I get it, Saleen, and you're right about it. You're right about it. I mean, look.
Yeah, they're saying that you don't like collective bargaining.
Yeah, I don't.
Collective bargaining.
That's what it's called when the SEC
this is what we need.
Makes a TV contract on behalf of its members.
Collective bargaining, said another way, is called
bargain.
collectivism, which is another way of saying communism.
And that's what conferences are. Conferences are communist.
I don't like that part of it. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, in the NFL, they negotiate one TV contract for the entire NFL, and then all 32 teams get the TV contract split evenly.
Yeah. And the NFL model is, I guess, proven. So, and the SEC only covers, the SEC as conference covers only the regular season. All the rest of the money comes direct from ESPN or Fox or whoever shows the SEC championship game and the playoffs. This money has nothing to do with the SEC. The SEC gets no money for having 5 teams in the playoffs. They get no money for it. The SEC gets money for a 16-team regular season. And that's all. And the rest is all independent. Anyway.
It offends my libertarian roots.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's the way it is, and I can't.
Let's talk about nice things. Florida beat the heck out of Miami. Did you saw it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Saleen. I hate to break it to you, but I guess organized sports is socialist or communist. Yeah.
Yes, I've been aware
That's
of
just
that.
how it is.
I've been aware of that for longer than you've been alive, sir.
Yeah.
And I enjoy my sports. I do. I enjoy hockey. I enjoy the college football. I enjoy the auto racing. I enjoy all kinds of sports, and they all have revenue sharing, and they all have TV deals of one level.
Revenue sharing and TV deals and salary caps.
I hate all of that, but I'm still going to try and enjoy the sports. And what are you talking about? Florida beat Miami in baseball?
They played last weekend. They played in baseball, and Florida beat the freaking hell out of Miami. And it should be a 3-game series, but there was a little bit rain, and Miami declined the Sunday game. They whooped their ass, but bad, really bad, in Miami.
I'm not much
Friday
of a
was full.
baseball person, really. So
Yeah, but just want to tell you,
no,
because you
I
don't
saw
like.
I saw the Florida beat Miami. Actually, on the local news, they showed a pretty good home run hit by a Florida player that
Yeah,
won a game for Florida over Miami.
yeah, they won both games, and the third was canceled because of a little bit of rain. And the home field team, what was Miami, decides if the game is played or not. And they said, no, we don't want this anymore. White flag, we give up.
The
Vic,
baseball.
did you practice for the slopes?
Not yet. Yeah, hold on. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
take your time. No,
Yeah.
no rush. We'll be here.
Vic want to beat Nate again in the slopes.
You know what I've noticed a lack of this year? I guess it isn't a thing anymore. Is nobody's showing? Nobody's making videos about getting
Practice.
ready for the slobs.
Yeah. Millis did one. Millis did one, and I think Rector did one.
Millis did one.
But
wait a minute, Millis isn't Millis anymore. He goes by something else now.
yeah,
lawnmower guy.
lawn tractor mon or something like that. I call him Millis. For me, it's always Millis.
Battle Angel knows the name. I'm
Lawn
pretty sure
tractor mon or
she
so.
always seems to be on her live streams. Lawnmower man or lawnmower guy or something to do with lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Lawn
Tractor Life.
Tractor Life. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I knew it had something to do with lawns, lawn mowing or a lawn tractor.
And they had Millis and Shipes had a good idea. Shipes built a poker table on his own, and they have raffle tickets or how you say it. So raffle tickets or riffle tickets.
Raffle.
There's a lot of raffle, yeah. So
raffle tickets.
And you can buy one for $10. And you can one number wins the poker table. It's a really nice handmade with Slop Olympics 2026 Nashville. So and it's a wonderful table. And Shipes and Millis make a raffle lottery. One wins the table, and all the money goes to C-Doc and his kid for the heart operation. There is no
wait. I zoned out for a minute because you mentioned Shipes, and I could give a shit about him. But what's wrong with C-Dog?
C-Dog has a son.
Yeah,
he's 6 months old, and he has a heart issue, and he has to be operated on the open heart in Boston.
Oh my God!
So
I didn't know that.
And he came on 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was a GoFundMe, and it was reached. The ceiling was $10,000, and when Lou brought it up, it was at 4,000. So, and in between a week, it was 10,000. So everybody gave some money, $10, $5, $50, $100, whatever he or she had. So, and Millis came up with at the Vic show Friday, that Jay Shipes contacted him, and Shipes made a poker table for the Slop Olympics. I mean, I have my problems with Shipes. I have Shipes blocked So just for the record.
Yes, so do I.
So
I've had
yeah,
sharks block.
I don't talk about it. I have my reasons. He shit about my family, and nobody shits about my family.
Yeah, it's essentially the same problem I had with him.
So
he just
and
he's an
he made
annoyance.
it.
He's like a gnat
Yeah.
buzzing against your ear, and he won't go away.
Yeah, I call it pest.
Yeah, he's a
So-
pest.
So and he made a poker table. It's a really nice thing, and it's worth a bit of money, a good amount of money. It's handcrafted. It's a nice
Yeah.
thing. Slop Olympics 2026 Nashville. So and he gives he and Millis sells this raffle tickets for $10 each, and if you buy 5, you get 1 for free, and all the money goes to the GoFundMe for C-Dub's kid.
Oh, well, that's nice of him. I
Yeah,
didn't know.
so- and
I didn't know that Shipes had woodworking talent. Okay.
So,
Well, good on
and,
Jay Shipes for doing that. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that publicly.
Yeah, I said it too. I mean, you can have your differences, but I give him credit where credit is due. So, and I mean, they can't ship it to Germany. So, but I sent Vic $10 per paper and said, buy a ticket and try your luck. I give $10 for it because I have zero chance to win it. I mean, if you want to ship a table who weighs 100 pounds to Germany, it will cost you $1,000 shipping at least.
And I would probably get hung up in customs for a month.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know about shipping from Europe and shit getting hung up in customs. My God.
Watches. And I mean,
It
watches
doesn't even have to be watches. And I ordered some. I ordered an article of clothing as a gift for one each for my daughters.
Yeah.
It wasn't even exotic material. It was just regular material. They got hung up in customs for 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. I have the same problem. If I order 2 hoodies and 2 caps from Mississippi State, it costs me $130 shipping, and it takes 4 weeks, and nobody knows why. So what I do now is I have my buddies at State and my buddies in my baseball club, and if someone goes to the US, I give him the money, and he brings me my stuff when he returns. This is the only way it works.
I just got done with this recently. I sent a watch to Singapore for repair. I mean, the watch was made out of titanium.
Yeah.
It had a standard leather strap on it. That was probably my first problem. The case was titanium. It needed a new movement, which was basically a Japanese movement. It was Miyota 9015 standard movement. The watch was repaired in 2 weeks, shipped back to me. It got all the way to Alaska and then sat there for 3 weeks.
In Anchorage.
Yes, Anchorage. And you want to know why? I found out the reason why this thing failed for 3 weeks before they finally told me and said, is there anything that you can do? You want to know why? This will make you laugh.
No.
Okay. You know how Europeans and pretty much everyone except America writes the date on forms. You guys go.
Yeah.
I think you go
Yeah.
month. You go month, day, year, right?
No, we go day, month, year.
Oh, you do. Okay. Well, evidently,
Yeah,
in
25th
Singapore,
of July in 1967. That's my birthday.
okay. Well, evidently in Singapore, they go month, day, year. So January 8th, 2026 would be written 8/1/26.
Yeah.
Where in America, we will write that 1/8/26.
Yeah.
So the guys in Singapore wrote the date of completion of the repair as 8/1/26. And the idiots at Customs and Border Patrol at Anchorage read that as August 1st, 2026. And this was in February.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
they said it has to stay here until August.
Yeah, and they blew the whole thing up for having the date written wrong. And now you're telling me that people who run Customs and Border Patrol, who deal with shit coming in from all the different countries of the world, don't
should know.
that different countries write dates, year, month, day, month, year. They write it in different formats depending on the country of origin.
They get paid to know.
Yeah, they get paid to know this thing, and they couldn't figure it out. And for 3 weeks, the damn thing sat there until finally somebody from FedEx contacted me and said, "Can you look at this form? Customs and Border Patrol seems to have a problem with it." And I spotted it in 5 minutes. I said, "I bet they're," and I said to the guy, his name was Curtis. I emailed him back and I said, "I bet you Customs and Border Patrol are getting screwed up on the date." And about an hour later, Curtis emails me back and he says, "Exactly. They're saying to me that there's no way that this repair could have happened on August 1st, 2026. We're in February." And I said, "Curtis, they couldn't figure out that meant January 8th, 2026. They couldn't stretch their imagination 3 or 4 inches and figure it out."
Yeah.
And Curtis sends back an email. You could almost hear the laughter coming off the email. And he said, "I guess not." And they said, "Well, do you think we could fix the form where it's got the date correct?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll take care of that." He took care of that, sent me the form. I signed it, scanned it, sent it back to him. And an hour and a half later, the damn thing cleared customs. It's like, oh my fucking God. Are you telling me that watch hung around Anchorage for 3.5 weeks over that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And 2 days later, I had the watch. And it's working perfectly. I guess we lost P Digits. But I appreciate P Digits being here. I just so shipping overseas, I am a big, I love to when I'm bored, and even when I'm not bored, I love going on websites like Chrono24, which is a worldwide clearinghouse for watches, all kinds of watches. I mean, everything from $50 quartz watches from brands you never heard of, all the way up to $1 million Patek Philippe's and Audemars Piguet and Vacheron Constantin, everything in between. And I love to poke around there because you never know what you're going to find. And I've found some great watches in my collection just by doing that. And I swear to you, Sven, as God is my witness, if it says anything in that listing other than U.S., because when you look at the thumbnail, they have country of origin. If it doesn't say U.S., I just scroll past it. And I've seen some watches that I would dearly love to add to my collection, and it hurts to scroll past them. But I'm not even buying from Canada anymore. If it doesn't say U.S. underneath in the listing, I ain't even looking at it. I scroll right past them.
I mean,
I was dealing with one guy, one company in Germany, I think the name of the place was Bulk E, BOLK-E. I must have bought a dozen watches from him, and he was great. He fair price, charged me like $30 for shipping, and it was always shipped UPS Priority International, and I would get the watch in 3 days. And I can't buy from him anymore because the last watch I bought from him hung up in customs for 2 weeks. And he emailed me recently. He actually sent me an email saying, I haven't seen you ask questions for a while. And I explained to him, why I wasn't buying internationally anymore. And he said, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't remember his name, but I said, look, when things get sane around here again and in the rest of the world again, and we can all come to some kind of agreement on a universal, flat level tariff or something like that, and Customs and Border Patrol get their heads out of their asses, I'll come and buy from you again, absolutely, because you have some great watches that not only would I like, but would also make great gifts. But I ain't doing it. And pretty much watches are the only thing I buy internationally. Unless I'm ordering
maybe Canada,
in which case I don't know where it's coming from until after I order. But yeah, until this tariff situation gets worked out.
Yeah, but your buddy, is it the Aruba guy? How you deal with him? Comes he personal to Miami, or does he shipping from Aruba, or how does this work?
Jason, well, Jason's watch, the two watch companies that he has, they're not shipping out of Aruba. They're shipping out of China. Actually, I think one's out of China, one's out of Singapore. But they're used, but I know that Elshin Tang, the owner of Zelos, which is my favorite micro brand, he's found a shipper service whose name escapes me at the moment, but they seem to have found a way around, or not around, but through Customs and Border Patrol, that they don't get hung up in customs.
Oh.
So and I think Jason's going to use the same system because Jason and Elshin are on good terms. But and when I sell watches now, and I don't sell very often, but when I do sell watches, all my listings are now, I will not ship overseas. I won't do it. For one thing, the cost is now astronomical and nobody's paying it. I mean, I had a watch sold to some guy and he was in Thailand, and he wanted the watch I was selling real bad. He actually offered to pay over what I was asking for just to beat two other people out of it. And then I quoted him what it would cost to ship to Thailand, which was basically $200 American, and he had to back out.
Yeah.
And then another guy recently bought another one of our watches. He was in Ireland, and that was after I had said that I'm not shipping. And he said, I got to have this watch. And I said, I appreciate that, but I am not shipping to Ireland and have you wait 6 weeks or longer and pay that, and you're going to have to pay even more money. I said, well, I have a relative in California. Will you ship it to him? I said, I will absolutely ship it to him for no charge, but you have to understand, and you're going to have to declare that right now in this sales. We did a Facebook Messenger stream. I said, you've got to say right now on this thread, once he gets the watch in California and he verifies it's working, I'm out of the equation. He's going to be responsible for shipping it to you in Ireland, not me. And whatever happens to the watch between California and Ireland is your problems, not mine. And he says, I agree. I said, then you got the watch. And I gave my PayPal ID, and in 5 minutes I was paid. And the next day I sent it to California. He got it in 3 days to California. Guess how long it took him to get it from California to in his hands in Ireland? Go ahead, take a guess.
2 weeks.
3 months.
3
months. For a watch made out of carbon fiber with a leather
for
strap.
a $200 watch.
No, it was more like about a $1,500.
Okay, $1,500. But I mean, even if it's $10,000, 3 months is absurd.
Well, he couldn't get it. It got to Ireland in a week, and then it wasn't Belfast. Where did it end up?
Dublin.
Thank you. It ended up in Dublin at the international airport. That was the port of entry, and it sat in customs in Dublin for almost 3 months.
Crazy.
He actually lives. I think he said he lives about an hour from Dublin. He actually drove multiple times to Dublin airport to speak to people there. They actually showed him the watch through a fence. You know, like you walk up to a counter and there's a fence around it. You know, you've seen these before. And they're on that side, and you're on this side. They showed him the watch. They even wound the watch up for him and showed him it was running. He knew the watch was there. It arrived in perfect condition. And he said, we can't release it.
Did they say why?
No, they wouldn't tell him why. I suspect it was the leather strap and the fact that the case and the dial were made out of carbon fiber.
I mean, what has a leather strap to do with handing out a watch? If it's not out of crocodile.
Leather strap is an animal hide, and animal hides are highly controlled and regulated across international lines. You should see the grief you get for trying to buy an alligator strap that is sourced out of Europe. Alligator or crocodile or ostrich or eel or any kind of exotic leather, months, weeks, months to get them to you. Why? I have no idea why. I couldn't tell you why. Oh, look, oh my God, this cannot be. I just got an email from On3. Lou Holtz dies at 89. Lou Holtz is gone, folks.
Lou Holtz.
8 years old. That's roughly the same age as my father when he died.
Yeah.
We lost one of the all-timers.
Yeah.
Yep, we did.
And
yeah.
That's a shame. My thoughts and my prayers go out to the Lou Holtz family and all his fans. I wasn't a Notre Dame fan or an Arkansas fan or anything like that.
Or a South Carolina fan. Yeah.
But I did get to see on 3 different occasions Lou Holtz, the motivational speaker. He actually came to Atlanta to speak at IBM 3 different times over the course of my career there. And I got to tell you, the man could talk. The man could motivate you into charging a machine gun nest. I swear.
Yeah, like Corso. It's the same attitude. Corso could motivate people. Lee Corso.
Oh yeah. But Lou Holtz could convince you of anything. I swear to you. He had a singular talent.
Did he ever win a national championship? With Notre Dame, he won one, huh?
Oh yeah.
Did he win? Did he win
all right.
one with,
Okay.
did he did Du Holtz win with Notre Dame
Yeah, he did.
in 85? Huh? Or when was it?
Yeah, it was in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Anyways, while we're still here, yeah. So we're gonna talk about Iran or
if you want to.
I don't know anything about the Iran war because
right? Yeah, I don't
I
really
don't
know
follow it.
either. So I do know that that we took out the Ayatollah Khomeini or yeah.
Khomeini. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
took out,
I
well, not
know.
only did we take out that guy, we also took out his potential successors too. Well, Israel did.
let me make a statement. Ayatollah Khomeini had nothing to do with Iran. Ayatollah Khomeini was a radical Islamist, radical, mega, like Bin Laden, the same attitude. You don't like Islam, I kill you. That's
Well,
that's
I
what
don't have
Ayatollahs
a lot
are.
of sympathy for
You also know that
the leaders of a country that will slaughter their own people for simply
Yeah.
speaking out against them
Yeah, me
and,
neither.
and wearing
Yeah.
and wearing clothing the wrong way. I mean, I don't have a lot
Yeah.
of sympathy for people like that getting
Me
snuffed
too.
out.
Yeah.
And long term, this is going to be very, very good. I mean, there's a reason that all the Arab states in the region, while they may not be, letting our airplanes land on their territory, they're not exactly preventing us from doing anything either. You also have to remember that the Iranians are not Arabs; they're Persians. Different.
Yeah.
Different.
This
Arab
is
not
very
Persian,
different.
Persian is not Arab.
This is very different.
Yeah, and
And
the Arab
and
countries
Dubai,
don't
Bahrain, Oman, Dubai, United Arabs, all these
Arab
radical Islamic Arabic countries rely to 99% on the USA because all
the
their big
United
bank
Arab
accounts are on the USA.
Emirates.
And
So,
did you know something interesting I found out doing a little research and listening to some people talk about it and doing some research on my own? You know who is actually covertly on our side on all this?
Who?
China.
Canada?
China.
What?
You know why?
China? What?
Because China gets most of their oil from Iran.
Really? I thought that China denounced the U.S. and Israel
yes, of course they did, because that's what they have
in
to
Iran.
But here's the reason. Even despite the embargo against Iranian oil, the Chinese were buying oil from Iran. The vast majority of their oil imports were Iranian oil. Now, if you look at a map of the area, you will notice this little spit of water.
Yes, the Strait of Hormuz.
The Straits of Hormuz. And the Iranians were constantly shouting to anyone that would listen that if you screw around with us, we're going to blockade the Straits of Hormuz, where 1/5 to 1/4 of the world's oil comes through.
Yes.
And the Iranian Navy, such as it was, may not be what you would call a blue water navy, but they had enough ships to make their threat somewhat credible. If the Chinese can't get their oil, their economy, which was already shaky to begin with, collapses. So while the Chinese government mouths the platitudes about American and Israeli aggression and blah, 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 blee, bullshit, they're also not doing anything to stop us from doing what we're doing. And in the background, they are sort of giving tacit approval because they need the Straits of Hormuz open more than just about everybody. And the Europeans, even though some of them are saying, blah, 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 America bad, Israel bad, we hate the Jews, blah, blah, blah. They're also not doing anything to stop us either, because they rely on oil coming through the Straits of Hormuz more than we do. And they know that America needs oil to flow through the Straits of Hormuz as well, and that we have the naval power to, escort.
To break the blockade,
we're breaking the blockade by degrading the Iranian Navy. I mean, we just sank an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean with a torpedo. First time since World War II that's happened. We're bombing naval bases and sinking their little speedboats and their cutesy little 70s era destroyers and corvettes. We're degrading their navy so that they cannot credibly say we're going to blockade the Straits ever again.
It's
and
the
while
same with
all
the
these
Strait
countries are saying that America bad, orange men bad, blah, 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 in the long term, it's going to be good for the world that the Straits of Hormuz is going to remain open to tanker traffic.
Yeah. So I do also know that that was it like last I heard, like 6 of our servicemen have been killed.
Yes, that is a tragedy. We even one American dying in combat is bad. Saying that, thank God it's only 6, considering the amount of kinetic energy we're unleashing against Iran. And let's remember also that Iran, in response to targeted and attempting to be as pinpoint and surgical as we can be in war, they're flinging drones and missiles and bombs indiscriminately in every direction at civilian targets.
Didn't they have like they had like one of their missiles that malfunctioned and
blew up one of their own schools
and hit a school,
and tried to blame us for it, and it's like, no, that didn't happen, and we can prove it. And that story quickly died a quick death, as it should, because it's a lie. And yes, gas prices in this country are going up again. They probably would have gone up anyway because we're switching over to spring and summer gas blends for emissions purposes, and those generally tend to be more expensive.
So you think that that this action in Iran, you think is going to be worth the lives that have been lost?
Yes. And I don't like that our side has lost people. I don't like that their side is losing people. But we gave Iran every opportunity to play nice, and they didn't play nice, and they kept enriching uranium, and they keep trying to get a nuclear missile or nuclear bombs. You can't have religious fanatics that are trying to bring about the coming of the 12th Imam. And if you don't know about that, I suggest look it up.
What's the 12th Imam?
The 12th Imam, the emergence of the 12th Imam is supposed to signal the end times for all religions that are not Islam.
What is an Imam?
Imam is a Muslim preacher.
A heavy-duty religious leader in Islam is called an Imam.
He's a preacher.
It's called a what?
An Islamic preacher. Make it simple.
Yeah, but this is one of the. I mean, this is a big. This would be equivalent to this coming of Christ.
Right.
Only when the 12th Imam shows up, all infidels
the world
die.
So is the Imam like a prophet?
Yes, in a way.
The 12th Imam is a prophet. A normal Imam is a preacher.
Is supposed to bring about
so who is the 11th? So who is the 11th Imam? Was Muhammad was Muhammad the 11th
I
Imam?
don't think
No.
so. No.
No.
I don't know enough about Islam to tell you that, but I do know this much.
I can tell
When
you.
the
I
12th
can tell you.
Imam comes,
Muhammad.
it signals the end times.
And they do say that in Islam that Jesus is a prophet in Islam.
That's what they say, yes. But the point
So-
being that you do not want these religious fanatics that are trying to bring about the coming of the 12th Imam to have nuclear weapons. Because a nuclear weapon is a great way to make infidels die in fire, which is what the prophecy says will happen when the 12th Imam shows up. So I would rather that we did something that secures for good and all the idea that Iranian nut job is religious leaders who are insane and trying to bring about the death of all infidels. I don't want that kind of person or that group of people to have nuclear weapons. And when they keep trying to enrich uranium and keep trying to develop nuclear weapon delivery systems and the weapons themselves, I would rather that we spend a little bit of that, Defense Department money or War Department money as it is now, and let's make the rubble jump. And by the way, you're talking about a regime that's slaughtering its own people simply for exercising their God-given rights of free speech and assembly, and standing up and saying, we don't like what you're doing to us. And treating women like second-class citizens and slaughtering people who they deem to be less than. I don't want that kind of regime sitting in power, and I damn sure don't want to sit a regime like that sitting in power right next to and on top of some of the biggest oil reserves in the world. I want that kind of regime taken out. So no, I have no problem with what we're doing, even if there is some short-term problem with oil prices, which, by the way, if you look at the oil markets right now, the oil prices have actually stabilized again, because they're beginning to understand what Trump and Netanyahu are saying, whereas we degraded the Iranian military pretty quickly, and we don't think this conflict is going to last very long. The American markets, last time I checked, and I'll look it up right now, the markets were up. And the markets are now closed in America. Dow Jones was up 238 points. NASDAQ was up 291. S&P was up 53. All the major stocks that I follow are all in the green. Now, admittedly, they dropped pretty heavily a day or two ago, but they're already going back up. And if I look up in Bloomberg, I call up my Bloomberg app, and I call up markets, commodities. Brent North Sea crude is 82.51 a barrel. That's down a little bit. Gold is still up pretty high.
Yeah, so didn't Bloomberg, and he ran in the Democratic primary in
Yeah, I'm
in
not worried about.
2020.
I'm more worried about I'm worried about the talking about different commodities.
Right, even though you don't like his political takes, you're more concerned with his money takes.
Well, it's not his money takes. He created Bloomberg News a long time ago, and even though he's not involved with it anymore, it still carries his name. New York Mercantile Exchange crude oil is $75.92 a barrel. Brent North Sea spot crude is $82.53
No, I
a
haven't.
barrel.
We haven't seen Nate in this show. No.
Oh, is there still a shit show today?
Yes, there is. So now,
Okay,
what
so
is
in about
what
in about
yesterday?
5 minutes, y'all head over to VicTube Production.
Yeah. So wasn't yesterday was Purim?
Purim.
Yeah. Yeah. So So what's that?
Well, let's see. I will read to you what it is. Hang on a minute. It's a minor holiday. Purim. Actually, it ended yesterday. It is the biblical book of Esther. Tells how the Jewish people in ancient Persia were saved from genocide by Queen Esther and her cousin Mordecai. The evil royal vizier Haram plotted an extermination of all Jews, casting lots or Purim to pick the day for the massacre. But Esther, secretly Jewish, revealed her identity to King Ahasuerus, foiled Haman's plot, and the Jews defended themselves, turning the day of peril into the day of celebration of survival and deliverance, marked by feasting, costumes, and reading the book of Esther. So it's a celebration of the saving of the Jewish people by Queen Esther. It's a day of celebration of perseverance and deliverance by Queen Esther. So, as I said, it's not a major holiday. It also marks the unofficial beginning of spring in the Jewish calendar. So, happy Purim, everybody. For Jews, it is now officially springtime. Because
we have a heat wave in Germany. It was 41 today. Heat wave is around Berlin.
And then what is
about 85
and then what is Ramadan?
Ramadan is a Muslim holiday. Ramalama Ding Dong.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Ramadan goes around 30 days, and they don't eat from when the sun goes on until the sun goes down. They are forbidden to eat or to drink during this time. They only can eat when the sun is down.
Yeah.
This is Ramadan.
And other than that, I don't know the significance of Ramalama Ding Dong. So if you want to look up Ramalama Ding Dong, go ahead and do that. But I'm not going to go into it. I don't know. I know it's a month long. I know it involves a lot of fasting, and it's very important in the religion of peace, which isn't.
Yeah, it's the month of fasting in the Islamic world, the Ramadan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ramadan is sort of like the Islamic version of Lent.
I guess. Yeah, that might be a good way of putting it.
Yeah. But it's 30 days long.
Yeah, because Muslims like to suffer, I guess. Anyway, on that happy note, I have to wrap up because Vic has a show to do. Cool. So everyone, head over to VicTube Productions. But first, before you leave, don't forget to click the thumbs up button because it does help my channel. And I am going to head over to Mom's house. because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And
on Mom's house
Sven
is no Ramadan.
Yeah, there's no Ramadan at my house,
No.
definitely.
At Mom's
But
house.
Sven, I'm glad you're back from your being kidnapped by your Swiss chickies.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. And Vic, I'm glad you were here today to help out.
Thanks for
I'm
having
glad
me.
I'm here and not sick like I was last week, and I'll see if I can do better going forward. And Sven kicked himself out. And Vic, have a good show.
Yeah, okay.
And for the rest of you, have a good rest of the week. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the last weekend of regular season college basketball, if that is your thing. Admittedly, I am not a big college basketball fan. However, I am a big Gator fan, so I do watch the games, especially since there's nothing else on TV. And what am I going to do from now until August, right? Have a good weekend. See you back here on March 11th for episode 255 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, the SaleenDriver. Y'all be careful out there.